देखो कौन आया, शेरा शेरा, देखो देखो कौन आया, शेरा शेरा.
Sambhal showdown on streets of Delhi.
What basis if they deny the LOP permission to go? It's the issue of law and order. But am I going to disturb law and order? Where is the sensitivity?
Gandhi's riot zone yatra blocked by cops. Hours of face-off on choked highway. Commuters hit out over traffic snarl. Commuters Congress clash on highway. Sambhal showdown.
Good evening. You're tuned into 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and yes, this evening we'll be wrapping up for you all the updates that came in on the Sambhal showdown. In Parliament, you had a war of words and outside it, as Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi attempted to make their way into Sambhal despite prohibitory orders being in place. The result of that was that they were blocked off, and along with them, thousands of commuters who couldn't move for almost 3 hours on an expressway, stranded there, leading to a showdown between the commuters and Congress workers as well. So as a result of the grandstanding by political parties, it's the average Delhiite or the average office commuting person who was once again hit. We're going to be getting you all the details of the political war of words over Sambhal and much more. And we're beginning with the big breaking update coming in from Maharashtra. Eknath Shinde has put an end to all of the suspense over whether he'll accept the Deputy CM post, and the confirmation coming in here on India Today that Shinde has agreed tomorrow he will be taking oath along with Devendra Fadnavis, along with Ajit Pawar, and he will be taking oath as the Deputy Chief Minister. Remember that just about an hour or so ago, when Shinde was in that press conference, he said, look, I'm a part of Mahayuti, but I'm yet to decide if I'm going to take oath as the Deputy Chief Minister. And he said he would confirm that in fact tonight. Now the information we're picking up is that yes, Eknath Shinde will very much be a part of the government and taking oath as the Deputy Chief Minister.
कल मैं स्वयं माननीय हमारे मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी के पास गया था और एकनाथ राव जी को मैंने ये निवेदन किया था कि हम सभी की इच्छा है कि इस सरकार में वे स्वयं हमारे साथ रहे। शिवसेना के भी विधायकों की इच्छा है और महायुति के भी विधायकों की इच्छा है और मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि वो हमारे साथ रहेंगे।
Okay, let's bring in our managing editor Sahil Joshi, who's joining us live from Mumbai with more details. So on this, Sahil, the final hiccup has now been cleared. Eknath Shinde very much a part of Mahayuti, very much a part of the government. He will take oath as the Deputy Chief Minister now.
Yes, I have spoken to Eknath Shinde, and Eknath Shinde has made it very clear that yes, he will be taking oath as a Deputy Chief Minister tomorrow. He also said that the MLAs, the party MLAs, have been requesting him that he should be part of the government for the party specifically. And more importantly, the BJP leadership has also requested him that he should be taking oath as a Deputy Chief Minister. In 2022, the way Devendra Fadnavis accepted Deputy Chief Minister's position in his cabinet, similarly, Eknath Shinde has said that now it is his turn to accept the Deputy Chief Minister's position in Devendra Fadnavis's cabinet, and that's how he's going to be part of this. It is likely that he's also going to get the portfolio which he was handling as a Chief Minister, that is Urban Development Ministry, which he will be getting in this cabinet as well. Looking at that, now the final hiccup seems to be completely clear, because 2 days back it was not clear whether Eknath Shinde will be taking part as Deputy Chief Minister in the Devendra Fadnavis's cabinet or not. But now it is very clear. There will be another meeting with Devendra Fadnavis now in the evening with Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar to finalize the rest of the seats about in the cabinet. Some more MLAs are also likely to take oath tomorrow along with the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Ministers.
But what's changed, Sahil, for Eknath Shinde? If you look at it and the details you're giving us, it's essentially the same portfolios that the BJP was willing to offer from the beginning. It's essentially the same post of Deputy Chief Minister that the BJP was offering. What's made him change his mind from 2 hours ago in that press conference when he said, look, I'm still going to take a call, I still haven't decided, to now?
Well, it seems that the day when he took a press conference and made it clear that whatever the BJP High Command decides, the Shiv Sena is going to support them. Since then, the party leaders, Shiv Sena leaders and Shiv Sena MLAs have been requesting Eknath Shinde that he should be also part of the government, even if he doesn't get the Chief Minister's position. And it looks like that because of that, it was there, he had almost already decided. But, certain things requires a public acknowledgement. And the way it happened in 2022, that Devendra Fadnavis first said that he is not going to be part of the government. And then there were reactions from BJP President JP Nadda, Amit Shah, and then finally even the Prime Minister. After that, Devendra Fadnavis came forward and said that he's accepting the Deputy Chief Minister's position. It was quite a dramatic time at that time that suddenly one more chair was added when the swearing-in was happening in Raj Bhavan in Mumbai. So similarly, he was looking for some kind of a push from his MLAs, his party workers, as well as the BJP, and that a public acknowledgement of BJP's request happened in the press conference which happened at Raj Bhavan by Devendra Fadnavis, and after that it looks like that Eknath Shinde had decided to go public about it, that he's accepting the Deputy Chief Minister's position in Devendra Fadnavis's case.
So now it's all clear 100% that Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar will take oath tomorrow, along with a couple of other names, which we will get more details of in the hours to come. Thanks very much, Sahil, for joining us with that exclusive news break. Sahil Joshi speaking to Eknath Shinde, who's now confirmed to us that he is going to take oath tomorrow as the Deputy Chief Minister. He was asked this question at the press conference just 2 hours ago. And what played out was a fun exchange that's gone completely viral between the Mahayuti trio. It showed off, of course, the camaraderie between the leaders, where they can go ahead and pull each other's leg. The question was to Eknath Shinde about whether he's going to take oath as Deputy Chief Minister. Ajit Pawar immediately pipped in, saying that, look, I don't know about him, but I will be taking oath. Take a look at that exchange.
उनका समझ में आएगा, मैं तो लेने वाला हूं। समझ में आएगा, मैं तो लेने वाला हूं।
And that exchange itself sends out a very clear message that all is well in the Mahayuti. All right, let's switch focus now to our top focus here on 6 p.m. Prime. On the showdown over Sambhal. Even yesterday, when the announcement was made by the Congress that Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi are going to make their way into Sambhal, there were multiple warnings from the local administration, from the UP administration, that look, there's no permission, you will not be allowed. Despite that, early this morning, Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi set out from Delhi, attempted to make their way into Uttar Pradesh, and that resulted in an hours-long blockade. On one hand, you had Rahul Gandhi there going ahead and trying to fight through, saying, I'm the leader of opposition, I should go through. The result of that is that scores, thousands of commuters were just stuck on an expressway for nearly 3 hours. Again, people, public, the common man paying the price for political posturing, for political grandstanding. There are questions also doing the rounds. Was this kind of a blockade even necessary? Did the UP administration take things a bit too far to send out a message to the Congress? Well, at the end of the day, whichever political party is to blame, it was the public that faced the brunt of all of this politics, as many of them couldn't make it to their workplace. Many of them who we've spoken to said, my child is waiting for me. Many of them say they were trying to head home and just couldn't because of the traffic snarls and the entire blockade caused by this kind of politics.
More than a week after 4 people were killed in violent clashes in Sambhal over a court-ordered survey of Mughal-era mosque, leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi, Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and other Congress leaders on Wednesday headed from the national capital to meet the families of the victims. They were blocked at the Delhi-Ghaziabad border, where Uttar Pradesh police had set up barricades, bringing road traffic to a complete halt. Chaos unfolded as hundreds of Congress workers attempted to breach the barricades. After being denied entry into Uttar Pradesh, the Congress accused the government of taking away their democratic rights.
हम संभल जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, पुलिस मना कर रही है, अलाउ नहीं कर रही है। एज एलओपी मेरा अधिकार बनता है कि मैं जा सकता हूं, मगर तब भी वो मुझे रोक रहे हैं।
कि जो संभल में हुआ है वो गलत है। राहुल जी नेता प्रतिपक्ष हैं, उनके संवैधानिक अधिकार होते हैं, वो बाकी लोगों से अलग होते हैं, उनको रोका नहीं जा सकता इस तरह से। उनका संवैधानिक पद है, संवैधानिक अधिकार है कि उनको अलाउ किया जाए कि वो पीड़ितों से मिलने जाए।
Meanwhile, the situation escalated when a scuffle broke out between Congress workers and commuters stuck in the traffic.
मैडम मेरे बेटी का पेपर है मेरठ में। हाँ, ये लोग यहाँ राजनीति कर रहे हैं, दुनिया भर के ग्राउंड पड़े हैं, वहाँ जाकर रोडों पे क्यों परेशान कर रहे हैं लोगों को?
इस नॉर्मल 10 गाड़ियों के चक्कर में आपने हजारों गाड़ियां रोकी हुई हैं। जब प्रशासन को पता था तो पहले से इन्हें डाइवर्ट करना चाहिए था ना रूट।
The face-off on the border that began at 11 a.m. lasted for 2 hours, after which the Congress leaders decided to return.
राहुल गांधी की ये गाड़ी है और राहुल गांधी और प्रियंका गांधी अब वापस रवाना हो गए हैं देश की राजधानी दिल्ली की ओर। और यहाँ पे पुलिस बाकायदा, पुलिस की नीली बस भी आपको नजर आ रही है। बाकायदा उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस देश संसद के नेता विपक्ष को ये इंश्योर करेगी कि वापस उनको दिल्ली की दहलीज पर, दिल्ली की चौखट पर छोड़ा जाए।
In Parliament, Congress MPs raised the issue but were snubbed by the Speaker.
सर, आज बहुत अफसोस की बात यह है कि एलओपी साहब संभल जा रहे थे, उनको रोका गया। ये सरासर बर्दाश्त नहीं है सर। ये मोहब्बत के लिए।
Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav claimed the BJP had deliberately created unrest to distract from election irregularities, while his party MP in Rajya Sabha mocked the Congress attempt to visit Sambhal.
सरकार किसी को नहीं जाने दे रही है, प्रशासन किसी को नहीं जाने दे रहा है। आखिरकार ये सोचने की बात है क्यों नहीं जाने दे रहे। तो जब वोट डालने नहीं दिया और बेईमानी से चुनाव जीत लिया, उसलिए जानबूझ करके उसको छिपाना चाहते हैं।
पार्लियामेंट में उठा नहीं रहे, वहाँ जा रहे हैं। पुलिस तो वहाँ किसी को जाने ही नहीं देगी, लोग फॉर्मेलिटी कर रहे हैं।
The BJP accused the Gandhis of playing politics over a sensitive issue.
इस प्रकार की सुरक्षा के व्यक्ति को जहां जाना होता है, एडवांस में वो प्रोग्राम बताया जाता है। एडवांस में वहां पर पुलिस की टीम पहुंचती है और उस जगह को सैनिटाइज करती है और उसके बाद क्लियरेंस देती है। तो ना तो आपके दिल की भावना थी जाने की और ना आपने औपचारिक रूप से जो आपका दायित्व और सुरक्षा, उन दोनों के हिसाब से भी आपने जाने की मंशा नहीं की, एक रस्म अदायगी की और उसके उपरांत लौटकर आ गए।
Prohibitory orders are imposed in Sambhal till December 10th, which bans the entry of outsiders and political figures. The city has been on the edge ever since the court-ordered survey of Jama Masjid, which triggered violence on November 24th. With Mausami Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
So you had Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi at the border there for over 2 hours and finally ended with them taking a U-turn heading back to Delhi. And before that, you had Rahul Gandhi, of course, holding up the constitution, issuing a speech saying that as leader of opposition, I should be allowed even individually to go across. Now, with that message, Rahul Gandhi also posted one on social media where he, in fact, put out how he attempted to speak to the cops, a showdown with the cops at the highway, attempting to make his way into Uttar Pradesh.
देखो देखो कौन आया शेरा शेरा देखो देखो कौन आया शेरा शेरा
It's my right to go there to see what's going on. मेरा अधिकार है। What basis if they deny the LOP permission to go? It's the issue of law and order. But am I going to disturb law and order? That is the sensitivity. But I'm going to go with the police quietly and come back. I'm going alone. अकेला। यहाँ पे मतलब रोकने को बोला है। हम पूछ रहे हैं कि भाई परमिशन तो दिखाओ, ऑर्डर दिखाओ, कैसे कर रहे हो, किस बेसिस पे कर रहे हो। संभल जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, पुलिस मना कर रही है, अलाउ नहीं कर रही है। एज एलओपी मेरा अधिकार बनता है कि मैं जा सकता हूँ, मगर तब भी वो मुझे रोक रहे हैं, जो एलओपी के अधिकार हैं उसके खिलाफ है। संभल में हिंसा हुई है और लोग मारे गए हैं और हम अपनी आंखों से वहां जाकर समझना चाहते थे कि हुआ क्या, मगर पुलिस ने हमें परमिशन नहीं दी। मैंने पुलिस वालों से ये भी कहा मैं अकेला जाऊंगा, मगर वो भी उन्होंने स्वीकार नहीं किया।
So that was the entire sequence of events as Rahul Gandhi has posted on social media that he attempted to go through, but despite being the leader of opposition, wasn't allowed right through. But is this really something the India bloc agrees with? Opposition benches did stage a walkout when Rahul Gandhi wasn't allowed into Sambhal, and you had, in fact, the Lok Sabha chair at that point saying that the LOP should not be roaming outside, should be inside Lok Sabha. I want to bring in Rahul Gautam, who's joining us live with more details on this. Rahul, there are a lot of questions right now about why the Gandhis chose to actually attempt to go to Sambhal. One, because obviously prohibitory orders were in place and they weren't given permission. Second is also about, the disjointed comments coming in from within the India bloc. You had a senior leader of the Samajwadi Party saying this was a mere formality. Why isn't the Congress raising this in Parliament?
Well, Akshita, one can't really expect anything apart from politics from politicians. But obvious that Rahul Gandhi and Congress Party wanted to send a message that they are standing in solidarity with the victims of Sambhal violence. At the same time, they also wanted to create this narrative that the district administration, UP government, they are trying to hide the real truth, behind Sambhal violence. But we have to really understand that from the very beginning, Congress leaders, both Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, knew that there are already a direction from UP police that nobody would be allowed to enter into Uttar Pradesh and head towards Sambhal, given the fact that this might disrupt peace. But they choose to go, early this morning around 10 a.m. and they were stopped by UP police. But in fact, UP police also needs to give some answer as to why the other lane on which Rahul Gandhi was not there, why it was blocked with barricades, because there was heavy police deployment over there. And obviously for 2 hours, thousands of people faced a lot of inconvenience. They could have stopped anywhere Rahul Gandhi in Uttar Pradesh, but they chose to stop him and halt him right in the middle of a national highway, which obviously caused a lot of inconvenience. In fact, Congress Party has alleged that this was a conspiracy to defame Congress leaders. You spoke about India bloc unity on this issue. Yes, Ram Gopal Yadav, Samajwadi Party MP, in fact, he said that Congress is merely doing, lip service and formality on this issue because inside Parliament, they create ruckus and raise the issue of Adani. But despite knowing this fact that they won't be able to go, they are trying to enter into Uttar Pradesh and go towards Sambhal. And this is
Pointing
merely
out that the
politics.
questions
So
to be
obviously,
asked of both sides. The BJP asking why is Congress resorting to this grandstanding when permission wasn't granted, leading to that blockade on the expressway. The Congress questioning why was that kind of a blockade even needed? Why did you close off the entire highway just because Rahul Gandhi was coming? So clearly posturing, grandstanding by both sides, as I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, and it's the public that suffers the consequences of that. Thanks very much, Rahul, for joining us with all of those details of really how the Congress is pushing forward now with this particular narrative, and we'll have to see whether they follow up on this in Parliament as well come tomorrow. Let's also tell you right now about the investigation into the Sambal riots. Over a week on, the investigation has taken a surprising turn as the police have uncovered cartridge cases at the crime scene, raising serious questions about the origin of the weapons used during the violence. One of them was made in Pakistan, another manufactured in America. The cartridges were recovered during a drive by the forensic team with the municipal corporation. Police claim that they found one 9mm misfired shell and one shell which had an inscription that said Pakistan Ordnance Factory. The searches even now continue along these lanes of Sambal.
On one side, the political battle over Sambal violence is actually snowballing. On the other side, on ground, it is the investigative team which is on high alert right now. We are getting you visuals from Jama Masjid of Sambal where the drains are being cleared out, and the police officials, the investigative team is using metal detectors like this one. If you could see, I'll request Kunj Bihari to zoom in the camera on the right hand side as well. These metal detectors are being used by the police officials right now, and they are actually probing the waste which has been taken out from the drains. Now, this will look like a very unusual scene, but why this is happening, there's an explanation from the police department as well. Yesterday, 6 bullets were recovered from the neighborhood of Jama Masjid of Sambal, and 5 of them, I'm being told through sources, is that 5 of them were used, misfired ones, while 1 bullet is being claimed. The police believes, the investigative team believes that it was possibly from a Pakistani ordnance factory. Now, that has put the entire police mechanism, the investigative team, on high alert, and that is why in the back lanes of Sambal's Jama Masjid, where on 24th of November, that entire violence, arson and stone pelting happened. Now you have the police on high alert, the senior officials of Sambal police on high alert, and metal detectors are being used to find out as to whether there are more bullets which could have been possibly fired, misfired or used on the day when the violence unfolded in Sambal in front of Jama Masjid.
ये सही है कि पुलिस को इन्वेस्टिगेशन में एक FN 2 स्टार करके कारतूस मिला है और एक POF का कारतूस मिला है, जिनमें से FN कारतूस मिसफायर्ड है और POF जो है वो चलाया गया है। इसके अलावा भी 4 कारतूस मिले। ये पुलिस द्वारा नालियों की सफाई की, नालियों में नगर पालिका के द्वारा नालियों को दिखवाया गया, क्योंकि वो उनको अभी तक चेक नहीं किया गया था, और वहां से फिर मेटल डिटेक्टर के द्वारा उनको निकाला गया। तो इसमें आगे पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है।
जो खोखे हैं मिले हैं, उसमें एक खोखा है जिसपे POF पाकिस्तान ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री है वो भी लिखा है, एक खोखा है उस पर FN या NF स्टार करके इस तरीके का लिखा है। ये दोनों 9mm डायमीटर के हैं। तो ये थोड़े चौंकाने वाले तथ्य हैं पुलिस के लिए भी, और इसको हम सीरियसली इन्वेस्टिगेट भी करेंगे और अन्य एजेंसीज की भी मदद लेंगे कि ये जो इस तरह के कार्ट्रिजेज हैं ये कहाँ पे और किस तरीके के लोग प्रयोग में लाते हैं और यहाँ पे किस तरीके से ये पहुँचे हैं। सबकी पूरी जांच पड़ताल बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि इट इज़ ए वेरी सीरियस मैटर, और NIA हैं उनकी भी मदद ली जाएगी कि इट इज़ ए वेरी सीरियस मैटर। तो हेडक्वार्टर के माध्यम से हम पता लगाने का प्रयास करेंगे।
संभल गढ़ है ऐसे आतंकवादियों का। आखिर ये कारतूस आया पाकिस्तान का कहां से, दूसरे देश अमेरिका का कहां से आया? अगर आया तो क्या इंटरनेशनल गैंग से जुड़े हैं? अखिलेश यादव की जुबान नहीं खुली। कल सदन में बड़ा हीरो बन रहे थे, पुलिस को गाली दे रहे थे, अधिकारी पर केस करने के लिए कह रहे थे, और अपराधी जिसका केस में नाम है उसको सदन में अपने बगल में बैठाए रखे थे। ये अखिलेश यादव जैसे लोग, राहुल गांधी जैसे लोग, ठीक है उन्होंने जो लूटना था कांग्रेस को पीछे कर दिया, अपने बोल लिया संभल पर, लेकिन आतंक का गढ़ है।
लेकिन वहां पर पाकिस्तान मेड कारतूस में किस तरह के दावे किए जा रहे हैं, आपकी क्या राय है?
मुझे ये उम्मीद नहीं थी कि पुलिस, मैंने ये तो सुना था कि उत्तर प्रदेश की पुलिस साजिश में बहुत माहिर है, लेकिन ये उम्मीद नहीं थी कि इस हद तक ये लोग गिर सकते हैं कि एक जनता के साथ में इस प्रकार की साजिश रच सकते हैं कि उनके पास में वहां के हथियार वो मिले। एक हफ्ते तक कुछ पता नहीं चला, एक हफ्ते के बाद में आप ये साबित कर रहे हो दाल में कुछ काला है, ये पूरी दाल ही काली है। मुझे तो ऐसा नजर आता है कि पूरी दाल ही काली है, और जिस प्रकार से ये कर रहे हैं गलत है। ये लोग भूल गए कि इस प्रदेश और देश के अंदर कानून है, संविधान है, सर्वोच्च न्यायालय है, और हमें वहां से इंसाफ मिलेगा। दूसरी अदालत, एक सबसे बड़ी अदालत अल्लाह की है। अगर तुम इस तरह से नाइंसाफी ज्यादती करोगे, आने वाले समय में तुम भी किसी न किसी प्रकार साजिश का हिस्से, तो उसकी एक घटना का शिकार होगे।
So obviously with the latest revelations of a Pakistan link, there are serious questions being asked about whether these riots again were a planned conspiracy. And I'd like to bring in Amit Bharadwaj, who's joining us live from Sambal with more details on this. Amit, the fact that this revelation has come days since the riots, I understand has also triggered a fresh search operation by officials on ground to check for more evidence, particularly by the forensic team.
Right, Akshita, and that's what is happening on the ground. On one side, you had the political drama unfolding in the parliament as well as on the borders of UP and Delhi, where Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra were intending to come to Sambal. On the ground, what I saw through the day was that police officials, literally ensuring with the sanitation workers that the drain waste was being taken out of the drains, and every minute details were being checked through metal detectors. Very rarely you see visuals of that sort, and the LIU unit was brought in with those metal detectors who kept on searching the drain waste throughout the day in order to find as to whether there could be more bullets which could have been fired on the day of the violence, that is November 24th. Now, the Samajwadi Party and the opposition parties are, questioning the timing of this sudden finding of the police, UP police, that on November 24th, the violence happened in Sambal, right at the spot where I'm standing right now, at Jama Masjid. And after more than a week later, you claim that you have found these bullet cartridges from the drains, which are free-flowing drains in this area. So the opposition is making those questions, but the police is intending to continue the search operation even tomorrow.
And there will be questions about whether this investigation should have picked up pace right away, especially with the kind of allegations that have come to the fore. Why has it taken over a week for, in fact, this kind of crucial evidence to be picked up? Thanks very much, Amit, for joining us with those details from Sambal. Now, Sambal is an issue that came up in Parliament today as well, along with several other critical discussions. Like I said, we've been seeing Parliament functioning smoothly for a change the last 48 hours. So today, what transpired in Parliament? Let's get you some of those highlights.
माननीय सदस्यगणों, आज मध्याह्न का भोजन का अवकाश नहीं रहेगा। आज लंच स्किप किया जाता है, इसलिए सदन की कार्रवाई लगातार चलती रहेगी, क्योंकि जो समय स्थगन में गया आपका, उस समय को तो पूरा करना पड़ेगा, सबको वेट करना।
Interest of the farmer is not served by sloganeering or crocodile tears. Maintain decorum. I know it. You are only politicizing it. You don't want a solution. No, you don't want it. Nothing is going on at all. Kisan is your last priority.
कृपया समाप्त करें
भैया। इतना उपलब्धि और थोड़ा टाइम लगी, हो गए बहुत हो गए 2 मिनट अध्यक्ष महोदय, बहुत आ गए बहुत। अरे अभी बहुत किए हम लोग, जनता है इतना अचीवमेंट कैसे गिनवाएंगे? हो गए। आज
महानगर टेलीफोन निगम के कर्मचारी और महानगर टेलीफोन निगम दिल्ली और मुंबई में या हाथ उठा के लोग कहे इनके तरफ से कि BSNL के मोबाइल कितने लोग यूज करते हैं, कहे हाथ उठा कर ये BSNL के, अगर इसकी सर्विस इंप्रूव हुई ना, क्या झूठ बोलते हो यार, नंबर देना, कितने झूठ बोलते हैं देखो, सबके पास जियो है, सबके पास जियो है सर, चलो नंबर अनाउंस करो, सबके नंबर अनाउंस करना, सभी लोग
Let's get you details. The shocking assassination attempt on Shiromani Akali Dal chief, former Deputy Chief Minister of Punjab, Sukhbir Singh Badal. And this happened at the Golden Temple. Remember, he's been there as a Sevadar. This here is the video of exactly what transpired. You had a man, an elderly man, approaching Sukhbir Badal and then pulling out a 9mm pistol. Fortunately, and you see an alert guard there who immediately ran towards the attacker and managed to push him away. And that's how Sukhbir Badal's life was saved. Obviously, it's led to a lot of questions. First, about law and order. Second, about the security at Golden Temple. How is it that this man with a pistol managed to walk right into the Golden Temple, which is a high security area in Amritsar? Those questions and all the reactions that have come in our next report.
Former Punjab Deputy CM Sukhbir Singh Badal escapes an assassination bid. The wheelchair-bound Akali Dal leader, dressed in a blue Sevadar uniform and holding a spear, was seated at the Golden Temple entrance when a man whipped out a 9mm pistol and opened fire. As Badal ducked for cover, Jasbir Singh, a police officer in plain clothes, spotted the attacker and, risking his own life, swiftly got hold of the shooter. Temple officials and others on the scene overpowered the gunman, who was identified as Narayan Singh Chora, an alleged member of the pro-Khalistan terror outfit Babbar Khalsa International. Sukhbir Badal was fulfilling guard duty as penance for mistakes attributed to the Akali Dal government under him, including incidents of sacrilege and police firing on Sikhs when the attempt on his life took place.
ਅਫਸਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਰੀਫ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਜੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਲਤ ਅਨਸਰ ਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ। ਜਦੋਂ ਆਇਆ ਮੈਂ ਮਿਸਟੈਡੀ 'ਚ ਖੜਾ ਸੀ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੱਢਣ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਰੌਣਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਪਿਸਟਲ ਵੀ ਖੋਲਿਆ, ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ।
मैं सुखबीर बादल जी ते होए हमले की सख्त निंदा करदा। पंजाब पुलिस के ਜਿਹੜੇ सीनियर अधिकारी ने अमृतसर ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ मैं ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ इन टच हाँ ਤੇ मैं ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ सख्त निर्देश भी दिते ने कि ਇਹਦੀ गहराई ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂਚ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ।
Narayan Singh Chora, a pro-Khalistan separatist, is no stranger to controversy. Intelligence reports reveal he crossed into Pakistan in 1984. Where he allegedly facilitated smuggling weapons and explosives into Punjab. He also authored guerrilla warfare manuals and seditious literature. Accused in the Borel jailbreak case, Chora served a jail term in Punjab. While initial reports suggest a lone wolf attack, intelligence sources suspect a possible Pakistani link. A 9mm pistol used is believed to have been sent via drone from across the border. The attack has ignited a political firestorm. Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal is hinting at a larger conspiracy.
मैं इस घटना की कड़े से कड़े शब्दों में निंदा करता हूं, लेकिन एक बात साफ है कि पंजाब और पंजाबियों को बदनाम करने की एक बहुत बड़ी साजिश रची जा रही है।
The BJP slammed the Aam Aadmi Party-led government for Punjab's deteriorating law and order.
अगर गुरु का द्वार भी सुरक्षित नहीं है पंजाब की सरकार में, तो आप समझ लीजिए कि स्थिति क्या है। और सुखबीर सिंह बादल तो वो व्यक्ति है जिनको सुरक्षा भी प्राप्त है और उन पर गोली चल जाती है। पंजाब में तो खुद इनकी सरकार है, मुख्यमंत्री इनका, पुलिस इनकी, सब कुछ इनका, और उसके बावजूद इस तरह की घटना होती है, चिंताजनक है, दुखद है।
The Congress and Akali Dal have called for a thorough probe into the incident.
ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਕੋਟਨ ਕੋਟ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਹੱਥ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਬਚਾਇਆ। ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜਸਬੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੇ ਵਰਤੇ ਆਪ ਵਰਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਗੋਲੀ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਲੋਕ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਥੱਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਨੂੰ ਭੱਜਦਾ। ਬੰਦਾ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਣ ਕੇ ਭੱਜਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ।
वहाँ किसी की भी तलाशी नहीं ली जाती और सब लोग बड़ी शांति के साथ आते हैं, सारे धर्मों के लोग आते हैं, सहनशीलता का प्रतीक है। तो वहाँ ऐसा हमला होना बहुत गलत बात है। खालिस्तान की कोई बात पंजाब में नहीं है, ना पूरे देश में है। जैसे दूसरे कुछ हिंदू करते हैं वैसे कुछ लोग ऐसे भी लगे हुए हैं, तो इनसे ये देश थोड़ा बटेगा।
The shooting comes a day after the former Punjab Deputy CM, a Z+ protectee, began guard duty at the Golden Temple on the orders of the Akal Takht, the highest temporal body of Sikhs. The order was pronounced for mistakes committed by the Shiromani Akali Dal government in Punjab from 2007 to 2017, which included incidents of sacrilege and police firing on protesters agitating against sacrilege at Kotkapura. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the Akali Dal is putting the onus on the AAP government in Punjab over, according to them, deteriorating law and order that led to this assassination attempt on Sukhbir Badal. Bikram Singh Majithia, who was also at the Golden Temple doing a similar penance as Sukhbir Badal, has spoken to India Today and has squarely pinned the blame on the Punjab government. He's also lashed out to the Congress, saying they're hobnobbing with radicals, with Khalistani elements.
सर, किसको जिम्मेदार मानते हैं? एक तरफ आप कांग्रेस बोल रहे हैं, एक तरफ आप भगवंत मान सरकार को जिम्मेदार ठहरा रहे हैं।
मैंने सबसे पहले तो जी गुरु साहब का शुक्राना है कि गुरु साहब ने बचाया उनको, और जसबीर सिंह जो पुलिस पर्सनल उनके साथ पहले बादल साहब के साथ 2002 के लगाए 24 साल के साथ हमारे फैमिली के साथ है, उसका धन्यवाद कि जिसने अपनी जान पे खेल के उसको बचाया। इसलिए बचाने वाला वो भगवान है, क्योंकि गुरु घर की सेवा चल रही है, और बचाने वाला या वो भगवान जो उसके जसबीर के रूप में आज हमारे पास आया। फेलियर सरकार का है, क्योंकि सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड करनी गोल्डन टेम्पल में सरकार की जिम्मेवारी। अगर गोल्डन टेम्पल में गोलियां चलने लग जाएं, विच इज द मोस्ट विजिटेड प्लेस इन इंडिया, तो आप हिसाब लगा लो कि पंजाब कितना सेफ है।
So the Akali Dal saying, if you don't provide security at the Golden Temple, where will you ensure the safety of citizens across Punjab? We will continue tracking the latest, particularly on the investigation into that assassination bid. Let's get your news from Karnataka. The Enforcement Directorate has been investigating the serious charges in the alleged Muda scam, and now they claim they've got concrete evidence against Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Here's what the ED has said, and these are details we have exclusively on India Today. First, that there's proof of 14 sites being illegally allotted to Siddaramaiah's wife, Parvati. And remember, it's over this allotment that there's a showdown over. So they claim they have evidence that this is illegal. Now, Siddaramaiah's son was, in fact, the MLA at that point, and so inevitably was a member of the Muda board. So the ED has said that's how the allotment was even made possible, using influence. There's also evidence that the ED has against Siddaramaiah's 2 close aides, 2 personal assistants. And reportedly, these assistants wielded undue influence. This is what the Enforcement Directorate has said. Now, the signatures were forged to ensure allotment for wife Parvati. Again, these signatures were allegedly forged by Siddaramaiah's assistants. They forged it to ensure land allotment adequately and what they wanted for Siddaramaiah's wife. The ED has also mentioned a deep-rooted nexus for the land crime between businessmen, between brokers and between politicians, which they say has been established. The ED shot off a letter to the Lokayukta as well on this. And let's get your reaction from Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. So Siddaramaiah, the Karnataka Chief Minister, now reacting to the ED's charges and the letter they've shot off to the Lokayukta, crying conspiracy and questioning the timing of it. Siddaramaiah has taken to social media to say, and I'm reading from his statement, just a day before our petition is set to be heard in the High Court, the ED writes to the Lokayukta, a move clearly aimed at influencing the judiciary. The ED investigation itself is questionable. The proper course would have been to submit findings to the Lokayukta before completion. Instead, writing to the Lokayukta and leaking it to the media exposes a politically motivated agenda. So now Siddaramaiah questioning the Enforcement Directorate, saying that all of this is politically motivated, due process hasn't been followed, and he's even alleging that this is an attempt to influence the judiciary. So Siddaramaiah countering all allegations. He's maintained it's completely untrue, and now saying even the ED's charges are timed to a petition filed in the High Court.